It's Thursday, November 12th, and I have a few days off and a backcountry permit for Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I'm going to park near Elkmont and hike up the scenic Little River Trail. Then take the Goshen Prong Trail up to the AT and spend the first night at Double Spring Gap Shelter. Tomorrow, I'm going to hike up to Clingmans Dome and then back down to Campsite 23. It'll total a little more than 27 miles. I'll be starting at 2,200 feet and going up to 6644. I'm carrying about 40 pounds, but nonetheless it should be an easy hike all the way to the Goshen Prong Trail, 2.7 miles away. On an easy trail like this, 40 pounds doesn't feel so bad.
Just got to capture as much stock footage as possible.
This bridge crosses to the other side of the Little River, right before the intersection with the Husky Gap Trail. This is a very scenic spot, and it's completely fair to hang out here for a few minutes. It's fall, and the days are short, so I carry on towards the intersection with the Goshen Prong Trail.
The Goshen Prong Trail. From here it's about another 8 miles to the shelter, which in about 5 hours, I don't know, might be cutting it close if I spend too much time eating and so forth. So.
The trail parallels the Goshen Prong with the Little River most of the way to the ridgeline. There's definitely no shortage of pretty water features along this trail. Here's a rock seep. If I were going to drink unfiltered water, this would be my first choice.
I did decide to carry a little bit of water after my last stop, which is good, but it's getting lighter. My thermometer reads 67 degrees. Can lull you into a little bit of a sense of complacency, but once in a while when you're in the shade, there's a cold breeze that comes down from the top of the hills down through the valley, so I'm pretty sure I know what to expect. I'm pretty sure I know who's going to be living in here over the winter. Oh man. I've stayed dry so far, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible right here. Let's take a look. Looks like we're going to stay almost dry.
At this point, I'm starting to wonder how much farther it is to campsite 23, where I'll be spending Friday night.
What's up?
Where you headed?
The Double Spring Gap Shelter. Pardon?
Up to the trail?
Double Spring Gap, yeah.
Great.
Guys hanging out here, huh?
Yeah, we're twice a road.
Is it far to campsite 23?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, thank you.
There.
I walk past the campsite and keep on climbing gently up to the ridgeline.
Hey, Bear. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a black bear running away. Hey, Bear. Ah, fuck. I'm starting to get pretty fatigued. It's 10.26 miles in. I'm like 5,070 feet. Hopefully, I'll just get to the AT pretty soon. This isn't too bad though. It's leveled out. I should count my blessings. Oh man. I don't know if I bit off more than I could chew, but I bit off more than I should chew. Still, I gotta be getting close. It's definitely starting to look like the top. I made it. Double Spring Shelter Point 6. That is our final destination. Got about 45 minutes till official sunset. If I can make it there in 15, I'll have time to cook with some lights still out. That's going to be important. Or at least more pleasant. Okay, I'm still on the way to Double Spring Gap Shelter. The thermometer is reading 44 degrees. So just at the point where I was starting to get really cold, I put back this, put on my previous base layer that I cunningly saved in my top pocket, and an acrylic hat. That should take me all the way through to the shelter. It's starting to feel warmer already. And I'm out here in the middle of the woods talking to myself. Okay. Ah, damn. Gotta backtrack a little. The things I do for fame. There, that should do it.
At the time, I didn't realize that you wouldn't be able to see the shelter anyway because of the camera angle, just like you couldn't see the bear. I tried to adjust it when I stopped, and it's a little bit better, but I will have to do something about my equipment.
It may not look like much, but it's home sweet home. I wonder if I'm alone. Alone on a Thursday night? Not so bad. I think I'll be alone tomorrow night too, though. Well, looks like the thermometer moved up 1 degree to 30 degrees. The overnight low was 30. My sleep system here worked like a charm with this Mountain Hardwear Extra Lamina bag on the outside, and this generic Marmot's like 40-degree bag nominally, but what I like to call a 60-degree bag on the inside. I was able to charge my Garmin inside, dry a pair of socks for the morning. Everything worked out well. I'm having a little bit of a trouble keeping my hands warm, but other than that, I have enough layers for my core. Just maybe a pair of wind pants would have been nice, and a pair of fleece gloves. Let's get cooking. I'm starting to feel a little warmer. Got some apricots in me, cooking some oatmeal. On a morning like this morning, on a night like last night, I gotta have tea. Thing is, I wish I brought a little bit more fuel. It's going a little bit faster than I planned. Not sure if you can see that. Probably not. Oh well, just gonna hope for the best and save my snacks. I can always eat my mashed potatoes cold if need be, although that would be pretty miserable. It's a beautiful morning. Just really cold. And windy. There's a little bit of frost on these benches out here.
I continue on toward Clingmans Dome on the Appalachian Trail. I'm taking my time so as to coincide with the warmest part of the day. Hopefully, I'll get there a little bit after noon, maybe 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
After about 0.3 miles of warm-up, I'm warm enough to replace this insulating layer with just my wind shell, because it's kind of windy up here. Oh yeah, it's windy as balls up here. It's real windy up here. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that that's my final destination up there. There's some frost still on the ground. It's been an okay hike so far though. That big massif that you see over there, that happens to be Mount LeConte, one of my favorite stomping grounds. Not least of all because it's in my backyard and I don't even have to go through Gatlinburg to get to the Rainbow Falls trailhead, the Bullhead trailhead. I know you guys love that handheld camera work. And there we go. That's the view down into North Carolina there. I'm just a couple of 100 feet below the summit now. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's been raining these ice crystals that apparently formed on the trees overnight.
Other than Clingmans Dome itself, this panoramic view into North Carolina was the most scenic spot on the hike. I'm just going to include the whole footage here. Enjoy.
There it is. I keep stopping and starting the timer on my Garmin, but that looks to be about a mile to me. Maybe a little less. I can see the people. Looks like I'm just one gap or one call away. It's about 11:30, so it's a good time. I guess it's not a mile. It's I got to the sign right away, and the sign says 0.3. I've actually been on this exposed little piece of trail before last fall when I weighed even more than me and my pack put together. Just Clingmans Dome parking. Pavement. Guess we're on the right track. Well, my camera was off last time, so let's try that again.
My downward camera angle comes in handy now, though. From Clingmans Dome, there's a view of Mount LeConte to the northeast. That hazy valley, way in the back there, contains Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. And now I'm moving towards an eastern view into North Carolina. As I pan a little bit to the left, you'll be able to see the continuation of the ridgeline. That flying camera strap should give you some idea about the windy and cold conditions up there. Finally, there's the view south towards Fontana Lake and North Carolina. It's a clear day and I can see for miles, but with this weather, I'm eager to get off the tower. I'm glad to be spending the night more than 3,000 feet lower at Campsite 23.
Well, here we are, Campsite 23. Let's see if anybody else is here, and if not, let's get a campsite by the water. That way, we're not going to hear the bears rummaging around at night. Well, here's Goshen Prong. There's the trail. And right here is another fire pit. This is where I saw that couple camping yesterday. So I'm just going to stay right here. It's close enough to the river so I don't hear the bears. And I can get water, as much water as I need. Now I just got to find a place to cook because I'm hungry and I got to get cooking. Well, 1 hour and 4 burns of the cat stove later, I have my lentils. Was it worth it? It feels like it's worth it now, but in the future, I might go stoveless or just go with tea. Tea and cold food. I mean, I think that'll fulfill the same kind of function that hot food does. Well, just to keep myself occupied during twilight, I decided that I was going to try starting a fire. I used one of these wet fire prepackaged tinders. Smells like chemicals when it burns, but not too bad. I think it might have been all natural. I would look for something like that. Looks like I might have succeeded. I went around and tried to pick some branches from under the rhododendrons and under the trees. Some nice dry deadfall. We'll see how long it lasts. After it goes out, I'm going to hit the sack. Looks like I managed to build up a little bit of a base of coals. Every once in a while something goes up in flames. May as well keep feeding it. Wilderness television. I've got nothing else to do. It's nice to have the fire, but it's getting cold, so I'm going to douse it and go into my tent and crawl in my bag. Well, it's Saturday morning and 31 degrees at about 8:30. It got down to 29 last night, but I was fine. It doesn't help that I'm in this 3-season tent that's basically a mesh shelter with a rain fly thrown over it. I didn't stake out the sides, but I did stake out the vestibules. I did feel a little bit of a chill coming up through this closed cell phone pad, but not too bad. I was toasty warm all night. I don't think the sun's going to be hitting this spot anytime soon because I'm surrounded by mountains, so I think the only thing to do is going to be to start putting on clothes and get ready to get the hell out of here.
Looks like it was a few degrees warmer inside the tent, inadequate as it was.
Ah, the sun. It's going to start to feel a lot better in a hurry. Well, that didn't take long at all. It's only 10 minutes to 10. It says 34 degrees on that thermometer over there. Most of the delay was just waiting for my hands to warm up. I really have to rethink my glove system here. Fleece gloves and overgloves are going to be the way to go. Anyway, I tried to redo the camera clamp, so hopefully that'll give you a little bit of a view while I try to ford the stream. Okay, so since I don't have a dry pair of socks or any spare water shoes, I'm going to try to ford this stream without getting wet. Once I'm on the other side, I'm going to eat and drink a lot of water because I'm thirsty as fuck. And by dry, I mean I'm going to try to stay dry-ish. It's going to be about the best I can do. Ooh, yeah. Those rocks are slippery. Pop off the rubber ends on my poles. I mean, it doesn't really look any better down there, so I'll stick to it over here, just get a little bit wet. Well, I made it, and my batteries are out of juice. There's going to be one more place where I might have to actually take off my shoes and or socks. Socks and or shoes, I should say. But this is going to be the last filming that I'm going to be doing on this trip. 8 more miles, and I'll be safe at the trailhead. Not to be over dramatic, but it will be nice to be home, drink some tea, eat something warm, and buy some better gloves. Well, I have to take my socks off for that one. It's pretty cold. Well, I'm back at the Little River trailhead, 4.2 miles from where my car is, so I'm good as home. This is a really easy hike. I stayed warm by warmed up my feet by just hauling ass and only taking layers off when I absolutely needed to. It's gonna be kind of sad to leave. Gotta go back home.
Well, there's the gate, so that means it's time for the closing montage. I traveled a total of 27.3 miles over 14 hours and 22 minutes. 10 hours, 21 minutes of which I was actually moving. That gives me a respectable moving pace of 22 minutes and 45 seconds per mile. I gained 5,337 feet and burned an additional 3,788 calories, none of which I replaced with food because I didn't bring enough fuel. That was one lesson. The other was gloves. Other than that, this was my best experience since March. Fall, winter, and early spring are excellent times to be hiking in the Smokies, so I don't think I'll be getting cabin fever anytime soon. Maybe I'll see you out there too, and if not, you can always hike vicariously by watching my videos. Since I really like to get out there, I hope to have a new one almost every week. In addition to fuel and warmer gloves, I'm going to have to bring more camera batteries, especially in the cold. That way, I'll have more pictures for the closing montage. I know it's your favorite part.